meditation. It's a little different. So you've all done Zen meditation. Okay. Does anyone want a little review of the instructions, or are you all pretty much think you got it and we can just go? Anybody wants a review? I'm happy to do it.
I'll take a review.
Okay, great. Okay, so Zen practice is a silent stillness practice. So you won't hear me giving any instructions during the meditation, reminding you, follow your breath, where's your mind, none of that, okay? And the other suggestion is to be still. So find a position that you can commit to, a posture where you're sitting upright, your hands can be in your lap, they can be in a mudra, however you want to have them. Make sure you feel like you can commit to that posture for about 20 minutes, all right? You want to sit up straight. Your eyes can be open, they can be partly open, they can be closed. The Zen instructions are usually partly open. Why that is because you're cutting out a lot of distraction, but you're also still in your experience. Okay, so we try to recommend that if you can do it. Some people find it a little bit awkward until they get used to it. So you're going to follow your breath. That's the primary method of the meditation focus. So breath in, breath out. So you're going to feel it in your chest. You're going to feel the sensation in your nostril. And you're going to just observe that breath. Not just notice it, but actually pay attention to it. So notice the texture. Notice the temperature. Notice if you hear a sound when you're breathing. What does it feel like in your body? Pay that much attention to it, as though it's the most important thing in your life, because right now it's very important. We're anchoring to the present moment, and we're using the breath as the anchor. You're also going to hear sounds, and it's okay to just notice the sound. Sometimes noticing a sound will clue you in to like, oh, I was daydreaming, I better come back to my meditation, okay? So that's pretty much the instructions. I'll ring the bell 3 times at the beginning, 3 times at the end. Traditional Zen, at the end of a meditation, we do a little hand bow. It's just a gesture of respect to our meditation practice. Feel free to join me. If you don't want to, that's fine too. Okay? So hopefully everybody has their cell phones silenced. Find a posture that you can commit to, sitting up straight. Why do we ask you not to move? If your body is still, it can help your mind be still too. So if you have a little itch, so let's see what happens if you don't scratch it. You just experiment with what goes on with your body and how much we want to be comfortable all the time. A little discomfort, we might learn something about ourselves. Okay. right, so that was 20 minutes. And would anyone like to share what their experience of that meditation was like? Was it hard to stay present? Was it hard to stay awake? Did you have a lot of thoughts? All of the sharing that we do, we all learn from each other, so feel free to say something if you have something you want to share.
I'll share that today it started out fairly smoothly, but then I noticed some gentle kind of thoughts and images arising, and then I had to come back. Focus on looking at the pillow.
Yeah.
With my eyes up. Yeah.
Right, and thoughts are always going to come up. That's normal, So what we're trying to do is be in present moment awareness. Okay. So when you have a thought, you notice, a thought, and then you come back to what your meditation focus is. Yeah. So that's good, and everybody does that. Yeah. Some people count their breaths from 1 to 10, and if you can make it to 10, I think that's pretty special. I don't know if I've ever been able to make it all the way to 10 without a thought. But we're just we're training our minds to be present. Because what do we normally do? Thinking, daydreaming. So this is an opportunity to put that daydreaming away, you can do that later, and just try to be present in this moment. Yeah. Anybody else want to share anything? What I'm going to invite you, we're going to have a little, I'm going to do a reading and then maybe we'll have a discussion and we'll sit again. But I want to invite you for the next meditation, if you would like to try this. I was noticing that following the breath is a wonderful thing, and that's kind of like the main focus in a lot of Zen meditation. You can also include the sounds. Okay, so as you're breathing, just listen to sounds right now. So you hear the fans, you might hear the air conditioner, you might hear sounds outside. That's all part of your present moment awareness. So you can include that in the meditation. Some people find that's too much because you have two things that you're focusing on. Some people find it's perfect because it doesn't give you a lot of opportunity for daydreaming. So just the thought of something you might want to try. Okay? And sometimes the sounds can just be lovely. You just hear the peaceful sound of the fan and you realize that you don't normally pay attention to it or appreciate it. So that's one of the things you'll find with meditation is you're going to appreciate your life. That's a pretty good goal, right? Okay. All right, so I'm going to read from an article. I get this Tricycle magazine. It's a Buddhist journal, and a lot of times they have a good article that I wanted to share. And this one was written by a man named Mark Van Buren. He's the editor of Meditation magazine, and it's called "Everyone Wants to Save the World, but No One Wants to Help Mom Do the Dishes." Okay. So you can kind of have an idea of where we might be going here. So this man just says, over the years of his practice, he's noticed an ever-deepening desire and commitment to relieve suffering. At first, he was focused only on his own suffering, but as his practice matured, he slowly released himself from that and started to think about how can I relieve other people from suffering. So he went from I am suffering to there is suffering. And it led to an awakening of what's called bodhicitta. Bodhi can be translated as awake and citta as heart or mind. So basically, bodhicitta means an awakened heart and mind. It is simultaneously the wish for all beings to be free from suffering and the lifelong or multi-lifelong commitment to seeing that wish come through. So how can we do this? So this man goes on to say when he was practicing Zen, and apparently he stepped away from Zen because he says when he was, we would always chant the 4 Bodhisattva vows before meditating. And those of you who have come on Mondays, the first Monday, Mark always does this prayer at the end. Sentient beings are numberless. I vow to save them all is the first vow. And I remember when I first heard that, I thought, save them all? How can we do that? And that can lead to a feeling of that's not possible, it's overwhelming. It could motivate us to keep on, or we could say, oh, it's just too much, I can't do anything. We can feel powerless. So there's a short story here. He says, these questions bring to mind a story I heard about an old man who went for a stroll along a beach after a storm so fierce that thousands of starfish were swept ashore. Some of you may have heard this story. As he walked, the old man noticed a young girl carefully picking up one starfish at a time and tossing it back into the ocean. The old man told the young girl that she was wasting her time. She couldn't possibly save all the starfish. She couldn't possibly make a difference in the lives of all of those starfish. And she said, well, sure, I may not be able to make a difference in all of the starfish, but I made a difference in these ones that I saved. So we can apply this to our own lives, right? Like sometimes we think about world hunger, for example. We may not be able to cure world hunger, but we can help feed one hungry person. Now we have an opportunity, and I'm going to put in a plug for the food redistribution program here on Thursday at the Dharma Bum Temple, where people gather, we make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, we bag them up, and we go downtown and we give them to people who sleep on the sidewalk. And we're not ending world hunger, we're not ending hunger in San Diego, we're not ending homelessness, but we're giving of our hearts. And I wonder if there's anybody here in the room who does that program who'd like to share what it feels like for you when you participate in that. What do you think about? How does that feel? I'm not going to call on you. I know there's two of you here.
I think it makes me feel better.
Makes you feel better.
Just giving it.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
I'm thinking about them, but it also helps me too. I give it.
Right. And it maybe helps you to appreciate your own life, that you're not sleeping on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else want to say anything about that? Okay. So think about that. You know, if you've never been with us on Thursday, come check it out. 4:30. We make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Some people feel shy or hesitant for whatever reason to go downtown. You don't have to. Anything that you can do to help, you're helping to alleviate suffering. And so this man says, I believe this is what bodhicitta is truly about, living in a way that constantly asks, how can I meet this moment to be of the most use? So if you see someone walking in a door, or you're walking out a door, can you hold a door open for them? Can you smile at someone? Can you let someone in traffic? There's ways that they sound really small and trivial, but we're contributing a little bit to other people's happiness and the relief of suffering. So give that a little bit of thought. And I think I have one more thing. Oh yeah. So he says we should always look to do the next right thing. In other words, take care of your life as it arises. With a sense of care and immediacy, do the next right thing. When you're done eating, wash the dishes. That would be the next right thing. When you have to go to work, get in your car and drive safely. When you find starfish washed up on the shore, throw them back in the ocean. When you see someone who is suffering, try to ease it. You see a piece of trash on the sidewalk, pick it up and throw it away. So just some thoughts. Does anybody have any reflections on any of that? Anything they want to say about that? I hope to see all of you on Thursday night. Or maybe some of you. All right. So for this next meditation, just a reminder, what are we doing here? We're trying to be in present moment awareness. Why do we do that? Why don't we just spend our whole lives daydreaming and not focusing on what's going on around us? Because we miss our lives. We miss everything if we're only entertaining the dialogue of yada, 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 and we're not paying attention. So again, this is an opportunity to try something different. To just, for these next 20 minutes, focus on your breath. If you want to include the sounds, focus on that as well. Thoughts come up, remind yourself, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be meditating, not daydreaming. If you find yourself dozing off and you notice, oh, my eyes were closed, maybe try opening them a little bit and see how that goes. All right, so we'll try a little different the next time. If you don't want to try it, if it sounds like it's too much going on, then just don't do it, okay? So let's everybody pick a posture that they can sit up straight and commit to for about 20 minutes. And again, I want to invite you, if you have an itch, try not to scratch it, see what happens. Just observe it. And you're going to, well, you'll see what you find out. All right. All right. So did anyone try experimenting with allowing in awareness of sounds? You did, okay. What was that like for you?
I found it to be helpful, so I could both look at the pillow and hear the sounds, and I noticed a fewer of the intrusive thoughts, and stay aware of the moment.
Right. Right, because were those sounds part of your present moment awareness? They were.
Yeah.
They weren't the chatter in the mind. They maybe helped you to distract from the chatter of the mind. Anybody else pay attention to sounds? What sounds did you hear? There's plenty of sounds when you listen for them. Did you hear the fan?
Yeah, the fans and the coffee, car outside,
Right.
the air conditioner in the back of the room.
So, another thing you can do with sound, and just check this out with your own meditation, see if you like it. Notice a sound, and you can follow that sound to its completion. So let's say you hear a car going by. Without grabbing onto a thought of, oh, that's a car, you can not do that. That's, a challenge. But just grab onto that sound and just follow it, follow it, follow it, follow it, follow it, until it goes away. Is that part of your present moment awareness? It is. So you're being present in this moment. So again, less of a chance for the mind chatter. But some people feel like there's too many things going on. You mentioned you were looking at the pillow, you were feeling your breath, and you were hearing the sounds. For some people, that might be too much. I particularly like that, but some people don't. So when you do your meditation, just remember what you're doing is you're trying to stay present in this moment. Whatever tool that you use for that, do that. Okay. Comments, questions about that? All right, so if you didn't try it, maybe try it at home. The next time I'm here, we can try it again. Okay, so before we have Vicki give our announcements, we'll close with a transfer of merit. So if you would feel comfortable, please join your hands together. May the benefit of this practice be shared with all beings in all directions. May all beings be free from suffering. May any benefit, any merit gained from this practice be transferred to those who need it most. May all beings be free. May all beings be peaceful. And now we'll have our host give us a few announcements.
Hi everyone, I'm Vicki, tonight's host. We opened the Dharma Bum Temple 18 years ago to introduce Buddhist practice to those who show up. Those who lead are not nuns, monks, gurus, masters, or teachers, and are not looking for students. They are simply practitioners sharing their interpretation of the practice. Every night we have different classes led by different people from various Buddhist traditions. We have a recovery sangha that meets several times a week for anyone with addiction. And our food redistribution program is every Thursday at 4:30.
That's the one.
That's the one. We have classes and programs every day, and everything we offer here is always free. The full schedule is on our website and also posted in the entryway above the shoe rack. We have a lending library. If you see a book you like, feel free to borrow it and then bring it back whenever you are done with it. Please straighten your seat or cushion before you head out. If a couple people could help close those windows on the side there, that'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for coming and sharing your practice, and I look forward to seeing you again.